willkommen hier in der Stimme des Himmels, willkommen in The Needed Change to Be Whole, a series that probably will change also by the new year. uh, what does not change is really what we are holding inside ourselves and becomes that demonstration and representation of what is whole in us, in me, in you, in everyone. And the funny thing is that doesn't really need a title either, right? But it needs this self-recognition. It needs that recognition who and what I am in my mind. And I could choose dozens and hundreds and thousand titles throughout all times, and they are completely meaningless without that clarity and certainty of self recognition of what am I, exactly as it is offered by Jesus Christ in this introduction to the lessons 351 to 360. And yes, it is a declaration of faith, declaring what I came to know, who am I? And yeah, I can only say everybody could or should know it by heart, and I know it too, but I need a starting out. And he says, I am God's son, complete and healed and whole, and shining in the reflection of his love and in his creation. I am in me is his creation sanctified, right? And guaranteed eternal life, and in me is love perfected. And what a recognition, in me is fear impossible and joy established without opposite. Yes, it is the truth. I am the holy home of God himself. I am the heaven where his love resides, and I am his holy sinlessness itself. Why is that so? Because for in my purity abides his own. And that first paragraph in that introduction of that sequence of lessons shows me or directs me towards mind, spirit, light of mind. It is also a declaration, as we have practiced it as the end of the first part in the workbook, where we were practicing, I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as God created me. And this is really what we not just do these times at the end of the year of a completed mind training series of 365 lessons practice. This is not just those 20 lessons at the end of the first section, 201 to 220, we practice. He also does say in the introduction, in one of the introductions, that we should actually carry that remembrance and that practice with us every day. I'm asked to carry with me every day, begin every day with that declaration that I'm not a body and I'm free, for I'm still as God created me. Particularly, that freedom has nothing to do with a body doing what it likes to do or believing to be free in a body. It has only to do with mind. It has only to do with what is contained in the mind. And of this we cannot speak. We are calling it the love of God. We are calling it the light of heaven. We are calling it pure happiness, and so on and so forth. But of this we truly cannot speak of. And he expresses then in the lesson for today that sickness is but another name for sin, and healing is but another name for God. And the miracle is therefore a call to him. And that call to him implies that I'm supposed to transform any body identity, because if the miracle is the call to Him, everybody knows that we cannot go home in a body. Everybody knows that. If it is acknowledged or not, that is a different question. But everybody in truth knows. In the world, it's considered, okay, I have to leave the body or we all have to die, which isn't true either. Yeah, nobody leaves a body either, because we cannot leave something that we first of all haven't abided in, haven't made our home, haven't even arrived. We cannot even arrive in a body. There are lots of groups around who are trying that to practice to arrive in the body. You know? Go to your feelings, go to whatever part of your body, and then feel. But the truth is, we can be there as pure consciousness, as that light of what spirit mind is. But we cannot really be there where a limited idea is placed. If I say, well, I'm going to go now with my mind, with my consciousness into my big right toe, I am still playing with imaginations, right? I am still playing with an idea that I have given meaning, and I call it, oh, here's my right big toe, and I localize and I say, this is what I am and where I am. I've localized myself there, and now I'm gonna go there with my consciousness and I start feeling it. The truth is, I don't even know where to go. There is nothing to know about where to go, because we don't go anywhere within illusions. And if we really practice that in its totality, in truth itself, each time that we want to feel our feelings or be in consciousness in something that involves the body, we actually can only go out into all the universe, into what everything is, and let that be true as the entirety of what we are. You know, so mm, of course it will show me that any limitation that I've put onto my own identity will open up and disappear. And I will simply find myself in what everything is. You could say, well, in emptiness or in space or in light, but it's not even, doesn't even come close describing that. Because even if I feel myself being in all space, there isn't really an emotion to that. And it's just a knowingness. It's just as we know each other in truth, as who we truly are, so I can recognize that I know all days. I can know what all the universe is. But that knowing is not in comparison to something or something different or something unknown. It is a knowingness as the one singular thought itself. It is literally letting go and just disappearing into creative thought itself, letting creative thought be my experience and my thinking, my experiencing. And as that, it is true, but not by any other evidence of conceptual description. And this is how I see also this lesson 365, a clear indication if the miracle is thus a call to God, to Him, to the Christ within. It is an invitation to find out, well, what is it about the body? What is it that I call a body or in a body or through a body? What is it I'm actually so naturally, so normally using as a medium that I call a body and have given reality since beginning of time? And of course then it becomes a part of one's own experience. And what is really there that makes the mind choose that medium as a necessity, as part of his experience. Why isn't mind from, from coming into this earth, from its birth on, already? But babies, they're kind of swimming in that light around, and they are not really in their body and don't really identify with their body, though the tendency is there. And then the more it goes on, those tendency becomes again stronger and stronger, and so they identify with the body and start reacting to comfortability and uncomfortability, how the body presents itself in the mind. But what is that? That we need here a helping tool, a course in miracles, a mind training program that directs us back to be mind, to be spirit mind, to be what we truly are. And like everything is based on fear. It's a fear thought that needs the body for something, for whatever purpose. And so we are really looking about, is there a necessity and a willingness to be free of fear, to release the mind of fear? And if we can give a yes for that, then we are on a different road than what the world shows us or the world is on. And the moment we make that commitment and say, yes, I want to be on that other road, I want to be on a way where I'm shown and can experience the release and relinquishment of that body identity. That is really all that the Course in Miracles emphasizes and directs us to. And from there, it's all laid out by itself. It's all a done deal. We are not really doing anything for revelatory experience to show up. It is the undoing of the holding on to the body identity, and that needs to be worked on. So yeah, well, thank you for joining in here, and I'm just gonna give here a first song to loosen up that hour or half hour that we still want to join here in this class. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you join here with him. I'm glad you're willing to listen to that voice that directs you towards the alternative. And we do it in a healing way. We are doing it with love. We're doing it with gratitude. We want to do it in that mode as Jesus describes it, what forgiveness offers us. Because obviously we have had enough pain doing it in other ways. So yeah, just stay on here on Spreaker.com, and this is the 12th episode of the Needed Change to Be Whole. Thank you.